Just want to make sure I'm not saying the wrong words here. I don't want to offend anybody. Hello? How are you people?
Are you serious?
Whoa,
How could you? People, you know what I'm saying? What about cats? That is
everybody.
so insane.
Everybody, yeah, people like everybody.
How could you?
All inclusive, nigga. I'm just
Devastated. Fat ass. How could you do that?
Look, nigga, I don't know when this happened or why this happened or how this happened. You know what I'm saying? But I remember a time where it was all good, and then next thing you know, I wake up, and then everybody's offended about some shit. It was all good 1 minute, and then next thing you know, nigga, I'm in the middle of a fucking baby world where everybody's just fucking crying about some shit. If an alien came down and landed on my roof and said, look, I need an idea of your social climate on this planet, I say, check Twitter, alien. Scroll Twitter, and you get a good idea about what's going on this planet. It's a funny joke. It's a cute baby elephant, cute baby human. Somebody's offended. Lil Nas X, somebody complaining about some shit. Butts, Tory Lanez, somebody got canceled. Sweet little baby. A salty 40-year-old. Is there more to life than being offended by some shit? Or is this it? Is this what we've been working towards? So the universe was formed, right? And then straight out of a miracle, our galaxies were formed. And then straight out of that miracle, our planet was formed. And then, you know what I'm saying, miraculously, there's life on this planet Earth. And then miraculously, we go through billions and billions of years of beautiful evolution to become humans that get mad at 140 letters on a screen that you could turn off if you want.
Oh my god, I'm completely mortified by your lack of respect towards the people whose elbows hurt community, not to mention the glorification of violence.
I tweeted, I'm about to hit these push-ups.
Exactly, so basically what you're saying is that you're superior to the people whose elbows hurt community.
Why are you offended? Why? Look, I could bet my last shiny Canadian loony that if you're most people, you're not actually offended. And what's happening in your brain is a biological phenomenon known as you're bored. You're so bored. You're bored. And it just so happens that this video has been sponsored by going outside and doing things. Y'all go check them niggas out. According to my research, it's an 87% chance that behind that offended tweet is a boring person who's bored out of their boring heads, biting their boring ass nails off and spitting them all over the fucking room. Then they realize all the nails I once had are now scattered across my boring ass room. It's been 10 minutes. I need to feel something. Hey, let me get mad real quick. Or maybe you're going validation fishing. You know what I'm saying? You head over to the validation lake, that is Twitter. You know what I'm saying? You hook your bait on. It's an offended tweet, nigga. It says wham, wham, wham. You cast that bitch out, and then within moments, other boring ass people around the globe who agree with wham, 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 they bite, and look who's validated now. It's you. Temporarily. Cause then you gotta fucking do that shit again.
But like you can't even imply that they're wrong. Like evidently other people are in agreement with wah wah wah. So like they can't all be erroneous about wah wah wah. So like technically speaking, it has to be factual to a certain degree.
You're wrong. Just because a million people think the same thing, it doesn't make what they're thinking right. It just means that's a very large group of wrong people. You know, it was a time in history where millions of people got together and said, you know what? Using asbestos to build houses is a tremendous idea. Smart. Let's all do it. Okay, but why are you offended though? Really? Like, would you be offended if you didn't have an audience? Because, you know, just speculation, but I kind of think that you are offended for attention. No offense. Or you are actually a baby. You're a baby. You are a baby. You are an infant. You've been meaning to try out some new words. Basically what babies do. You are 9 months old. Or you just really enjoy hearing your own voice, which coincidentally is normal behavior for dogs. Specifically baby dogs. And notice your woke was not on this list of reasons why you might be offended. Because replying to a tweet doesn't make you woke. It makes you a person replying to a tweet. So clap it up for that, I guess. How to not be offended as a person who is always offended. Don't be 11 months old. You know what I'm saying? Let's really paint a picture in a non-offensive way. Nigga, there are 4.3 billion active internet users. So if you do the math real quick in your head, then you know roughly that is 4.3 billion unique perspectives around the world. And because you know that, then you also know that that is roughly 4.3 billion opinions. You are a single organism. You're one fucking organism, baby. You're one person. Why are you mad that we all don't have the exact same opinion?
Who are you?
That's what babies get mad about. The dots are there, nigga. I'm just connecting the dots. A little baby has shoes that he loves. Another little baby comes along and says those shoes look stupid. The shoe baby believes that everybody should like these shoes because he likes these shoes. The shoe baby cries. You're being a shoe baby. You're a random guy from Ireland who's upset that my tweet doesn't align with your thought thoughts and opinions. The second you realize that even your closest people live wildly different experiences that shape their opinions is the second you stop taking shit so goddamn personal. I remember my homie of many years. I know this guy. It's my guy. I thought for the most part we were pretty alike in our opinions and thoughts until he threw me the curveball of my life. He said, I don't see what all the big fuss is about this R. Kelly stuff. I don't think we're blaming the children enough. Now, needless to say, my children will not even know this nigga exists. But as this man looked me dead in my eye, I realized two things. One of his eyeballs was slightly smaller than the other one. I don't know how the fuck that happened, you know what I'm saying? But two, he believed this with every last fiber in his body the same way everyone else around the world believes their own shit with every last fiber in their bodies. So how do you not be offended by people and their thoughts? Don't be in the place where there's many people and many thoughts. You find some of these Twitter accounts out there who are just offended all day, just upset all day. Like, why'd you get Twitter? I think you hate this shit. Or you love being mad. And that is fine. But leave me out of it, baby. How do you not be offended by people and their thoughts? Realize that people are not you and therefore do not think your thoughts. Be one person. Don't be people. Why are you offended but the person that this shit is about? This nigga not giving one ass of a rat. He don't give a rat's ass. He over there chilling beating his meat. Why are you mad for him? Ponder on the question that is, if people can think anything, why react to everything? They got you on lock, nigga. They think this shit out of nowhere and then they say this shit out of nowhere and then you just react to everything. They might as well have a remote and fucking keep pressing the mad button. It's like bashing your head against a locker every time a unique snowflake lands on the face of this earth. They're all unique. You're gonna have a lot of lumps in your head. You know you could do other things than just being offended all the time, right? I tweeted a joke about anteaters. You're offended. Why? You're not a fucking anteater. This tweet is for anteaters. So you see an innocent tweet and right away your first thought is, how do I make this about me real quick? My theory is a very simple one. I believe that many people out there, they want to be mad. They want to be mad to fill some sort of void that I don't know about and they probably don't even know about. The intent is to be mad. So with that intent, they create ways to be mad. Somebody tweets a joke about ringworm and guess whose head is snug up inside of a fucking ringworm activist hat? It's your head. You're wearing a ringworm activist hat all of a sudden. Why don't you try on a go to bed hat? Let's put that one on. Let's put on a learn about yourself hat and figure out what is really going on. Cause all this extra shit is just noise, baby. A baby cries, you hear wah wah wah. They're not complaining about wah 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 specifically. They're crying about some other shit. Maybe they're hungry. Maybe they're cold. I don't think you're actually crying about what you're talking about. I think there's some other shit that's, been left unchecked maybe your whole life and you need to check that shit out. What else can you do instead of being offended? Well, look, sometimes I see these offended tweets. I'm like, God damn, how did you connect? How did you turn that? How did you make that about? So you just took imagine you use that creativity elsewhere. You could be knitting cold ass socks all day. You could start a sock business. Niggas in the streets gonna call you Tony Sock Pro Knitter. That's a little gamer joke for y'all. Imagine the second before Elon Musk created Tesla, this nigga stopped and said, nah, let me go out there and react to what people have to say about things in the world. Boom, just like that. No Tesla, no technological advancements for the betterment of humans. You're not doing anything with offended tweets. You might as well just chill in your whip and puke on your chest. And just sit there in it. And it'll have the exact same effect on the world as you going around replying to tweets. What else can you do instead of being offended? Make something new. Like you made a brand new tweet out of what the fuck I said. Write a book. You're an author, my guy. You looking like a Robert Munch in his prime.
Oh my god, how can you glorify and personify cats? Like what about the people who got scratched by a cat before Community?
Nigga, I tweeted, haha, I'm about to watch Cat in the Hat. What's actually offensive is you using your precious life force to fart out this goddamn whack-ass tweet. You're not doing anything but dictating unnecessarily elongated and perplexing terminology. Big words don't make you right. They make your sentence have too many syllables. I'm saying if you're actually about this shit, then use your brain power to actually support a cause. If you're really passionate, make a real change. Nigga, tweet takes none but 10 seconds away from your miserable life. And you're a hero for this? That's not very heroic to me, nigga. That's not my hero. Martin Luther King. He was behind African Americans getting basic civil rights for the first time. You look at Harriet Tubman, all right? She went back to free dozens of slaves after first freeing herself from slavery. Those are heroes. You got offended by a sentence from a random little boy in Iowa and tweeted a thing. Ask yourself what you're actually seeking with this offended tweet. Is it really social justice that you want? Is it sympathy? Is it attention? Is it an identity? Is it a gift basket from the people who like ketchup community? What's your actual purpose in life? Is it to be aimlessly mad about any and everything and to pull words out of your asshole and add eyes to the end of them? Because if so, well then clap it up, baby, because you're on the right path. You want people to read your tweet and sit there in awe of some words that you pulled out of your belly button. Nigga, I read your tweet, I think, oh, a baby must have stepped on somebody's keyboard. They're not saying shit.
Oh my god, but it's the way I feel. Like, stop discrediting my emotions. You're being really emotionifying and I'm really feeling threatened and triggered simultaneously in a scary way, like for real.
A drunk nigga could feel like a duck. Not saying he don't feel like a duck. He's clearly over there quacking in the middle of a parking lot. Of course he feels like a duck. I know know the reason he feels like a duck is because his mind is under the influence of an alcoholic beverage. Or like 7. I know you feel offended, because then why else would you sit there and fire off 10 tweets with big words and unnecessary syllables? I'm just speculating that the reason you feel offended is because your mind is under the influence of thinking that the 7.9 billion people in this world have to think the thoughts that you think, you know what I'm saying, and tiptoe around your insecurities. I would say that you're under the influence of thinking that everybody else in this world should bow down and surrender to your way of thinking and your way of life. So basically what you're trying to say is you want people to godify and worship you. And technically speaking, by being offended, what you're trying to say is you're our Lord and Savior? Wow. Now thinking about it, I feel pretty offended that you feel offended.
How dare you? Like, honestly, like, the lack of sympathy displayed is beyond atrocious. Like, how could you purposely disinclude the people who don't have bodies community? Like, you have no idea how many ghosts don't get to celebrate because of disgusting statements like these ones.
I tweeted Merry Christmas, everybody.
But what about people with no bodies?